Mga kalabaw! Handa na ba kayo? Metro Manila's greatest hits is back. Ang lahat ng drama, ang lahat ng tawanan, musika at anong paman. Magkakasama pa rin tayo mga kalamaw. Sa lungkot at ligaya, tabi pa rin ang iyong paboritong tambayan. Broadcasting live from TVH Group of Networks. Ang iyong himpilan, ang iyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at Noon.
Good afternoon, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It is now 12:04 p.m. and this is Cool News at Noon. You're listening to us right here on Cool FM Nationwide and News Radio 93.1 on bringing the latest stories that care for you. A low-pressure area formed outside the Philippine area of responsibility on Sunday morning, according to the State Weather Service. In a Facebook post, the Philippine Atmospheric Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration said this LPA has a high chance of developing into a tropical depression within the next 24 hours. It was last spotted 2,235 kilometers east of Guiguan, Eastern Samar. Meanwhile, severe tropical storm Nika undergoes rapid intensification and could reach the typhoon category within the day. The severe tropical storm was last spotted 690 kilometers east of Infanta, Quezon. It carries maximum sustained winds of 100 kilometers per hour and gusts of up to 135 kilometers per hour. Niga is moving northwestward at 30 kilometers per hour. The death toll due to the combined effects of severe tropical storm Christine and Typhoon Leon is now at 160, according to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. The NDRRMC, however, said only 21 of these deaths are validated. Meanwhile, 135 persons were injured and 21 went missing. Based on its 8 a.m. update on Sunday, the number of people affected also increased to over 9.6 billion individuals or 2.4 million families. This number includes 617,168 people who were displaced. Of this figure, 158,697 individuals were inside 566 evacuation centers nationwide, while 458,471 took shelter elsewhere. The recent weather disturbance likewise damaged more than 7 billion pesos worth of agricultural infrastructure and products nationwide. Meanwhile, NDRRMC said flood-hit areas remain at 839. The places are Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, Region 4A, Region 5, Region 6, Region 8, Region 9, Region 12, Caraga, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Mindanao, and the National Capital Region. Christine exited the country's boundary last October 25, while Leon left the Philippine area of responsibility on November 1. The Philippine Coast Guard suspended sea travel Saturday afternoon, November 9, in Quezon Province due to rough sea conditions caused by severe tropical storm Nika. The BCG stations in Lucena City and Reeltown announced the suspension of trips of all vessels watercraft flying the route within their areas due to the hosting of tropical cyclone with signal number 1 and the possible effects of the inclement weather. The PCG station in Real in northern Quezon covers the towns of Infanta, Nakar, and the Polillo group of islands in the Pacific Ocean that host the municipalities of Polillo, Gutios, Panukulan, Chomalik, and Patnakunagan. The PCG station in Lucena City covers the eastern portion of the province along Lamon Bay and Diabas Bay that include the coastal towns of Calalok, Guinanyangan, Takawayan, Pitigo, San Andres, Buena Vista, San Francisco, Pagbilao, Lopez, Katanunan, Mulanay, Unisan, General Luna, Pilaridao, Quezon, Alabad, Sampaloc, Padre Burgos, Macalilon, Mauban, Pares, Agdangan, Kumaka, Timongnan, and San Narciso. All sea vessels are reminded to take precautionary measures and be extra vigilant in monitoring the movement of typhoon if deemed to be affected by said water disturbance, the PCG said. Sea vessels that intend to take shelter shall be permitted as long as it is manifested through a written request and no passenger cargo will be allowed on board, the suspension order said. Voyage of vessels will resume until further notice and upon improvement of weather and sea conditions, the PCG said. Based on the Pagasa bulletin at 5 a.m. Sunday, November 10, Nika was moving west-northwestward at 30 kilometers per hour, tracking maximum sustained winds of 100 kilometers per hour near the center and gusts of 125 kilometers per hour. Nika was last spotted 690 kilometers east of Infanta, Quezon. Wind signal number 2 was hosted over the eastern portion of Isabela and northern portion of Aurora. Wind signal number 1 was set over 17 areas in Luzon. And the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center reminds the public to report cybercrimes to the Interagency Response Center hotline 1326. CICC Executive Director Alexander Ramos made this request after seeing numerous complaints over the weekend about unauthorized GCash fraud transfers. We encourage the public to please report to CICC if they were affected by the recent e-wallet losses, Ramos said. Your social media platforms will not in any way assist you nor resolve your losses in your e-wallets, he added. CICC is coordinating with the e-wallet app GCash to investigate the issue. The agency is also collaborating with the National Telecommunications Commission on how victims can receive assistance. As of 8 p.m. November 9, 2024, most victims who reported the unauthorized fund transfer received their money back. The IARC hotline 1326 is toll-free and operates 24/7 from Mondays to Sundays, including holidays. It is now 12:11 p.m. We will return with more news headlines, particularly international headlines, right here on koolNews at dawn. Stick around, people. We will be right back.
This koolNews edition was brought to you by Delsat TV. Enjoy SD and high-definition channels when you subscribe to Delsat TV. Musicultura Heritage Foundation Center, a museum of all fan-made multimedia and Philippine history. Visit us today at Greenbelt, Makati City from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Musicultura, a non-profit joint venture project of Able Media and TVH Group of Networks Incorporated. And Smart Dishwashing Paste, double tanggaling formula against sebo and bacteria. Smart Dishwashing Paste, a product of ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality. ACS. You're listening to Cool FM.
Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide ba?
With Sprite, kayang-kaya mo yan. Cool ka lang, cool ka lang. Steady ka lang muna mag-Sprite ka lang dyan.
Ang galing! Pang matagalan.
Parang tayo lang, Han, no? Everest Appliances.
Babe, ano ever best decision mo in life?
Siyempre, building a home with you. Everest Appliances. Health, wellness, energy saving. Ever best from Everest.
B-I-N-I-B-I-N-I-B! Worried about ponytail dents, tangles, and frizz? Use Sunsilk Smooth and Manageable every day for 5 times smoother, fragrant hair versus non-conditioning shampoo. Para
magpahinga? May mga gamot para dyan. Pero, relax. Mag-efficacent oil. Sa unang amoy at hagod, ramdam ang ginhawa na trusted by all. Unahin ang trusted ginhawa. Unahin ang efficacent.
Methyl salicylate plus menthol plus camphor is a generic name of efficacent oil. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Sahod, hindi limos. Sweldo, hindi ayuda. Imbes nag-aabot ng barya, bigyan ng dignidad ang ating magsasaka. Samahan niyo ako at ating busugin ang mga nagpapakain sa atin.
Senador Ivy Marcos para sa magsasakang Pilipino.
May tanong si Seaman Rodel. Pare, may insurance plan bang nagbibigay proteksyon sa akin at nag-iipon para sa pag-aaral ng anak ko?
Oo naman!
Sa Sun Life Grepa, gets ka namin, sagot ka namin. Client can avail of Sun Life Grepa policies while in the Philippines.
Pag in the mood for beach, time for Dunkin' Iced Spanish Latte.
Pag sweater weather, time for Dunkin' Brewed Coffee.
Pag nagkaya ang magbike, time for Dunkin' Iced Americano.
Anytime is Dunkin' Coffee time. My hot and iced coffee for any moment, any vibe, anytime. Eh, ikaw? Time for Dunkin' Coffee, hot or iced.
Hi, it's Solen.
And Nico Bolsico here.
My family is everything.
They mean the whole world to us.
They inspire us to be our best.
They are our #1 priority. When it comes to our water,
We prioritize exceptional. We only choose Nature Spring distilled drinking water. Distilled through a 12-step process that brings safe, world-class, high-quality drinking water.
is the only water we trust for our family.
After all these years, it's still only Nature Spring distilled drinking water.
Anumang sandali, muling darating si Jesus. Malapit na akong dumating. Dala ko ang aking gantimpala para sa bawat isa ayon sa mga ginawa niya. Ako ang Alpha at ang Omega, nang ibig sabihin ang una at ang huli. Revelation 22 verse 12 to 13. Repent. Turn to Jesus today. He is the only way to heaven. Brought to you by MX3.
Hoy, hoy, hoy. Protektahan ng iyong kahoy, hoy, hoy. Sa pwesteng abag at anay, nay, nay. Masa na tunay, nay, nay.
Solignom all around yan eh. Solignom all around. Made even better dahil walang mabahong amoy. Presyong mas abot kaya.
Versus previous formulation.
Kaya protektahan ang iyong
Hoy, hoy, hoy.
Solignom all around. Presyong mas abot kahoy. Mas abot kaya.
Versus previous formulation.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I know what you're thinking. You're craving something more. Something beyond the ordinary. Something wild. You want to explore. You want to connect. You want to feel truly alive. And you know what? You deserve it. So awaken that side of you. The side that longs for adventure. For the thrill of the unknown. Go ahead. Embrace the moment. Premier condoms. Wild because you can.
Yeah, Primo, breakfast.
Big day today, Dad.
Then you need a Bigatin sandwich. Ladies' Choice ham spread, made with real ham and farm fresh eggs. Meaty busog.
Sarap!
Ready na?
Busog pa!
Starts at 12 pesos SRP.
Hindi birong maging isang ina. Dapat hands-on ka sa maraming bagay, lalo na sa mga iniinom na gamot. Dapat ready ka. Kaya kapag may sakit sa pamilya ko, gaya ng sakit ng ulo, sakit sa katawan na may kasamang lagnat dulot ng sipon, allergic rhinitis o sinusitis, Simdex D ang ipinapainom ko. Gamot laban sa sintomas ng trangkaso. Simdex D is available in Mercury Drug Stores and other drug stores near you. Phenylpropanolamine hydrochloride malate paracetamol is the generic name of Simdex D. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Also available Simdex D Syrup for kids and Simdex D Forte for adults.
Protection
Yakult!
with proper diet and exercise
Yakult!
helps gut health.
Yakult!
May 8 billion live LCS
Yakult!
that may reach the intestines alive.
Yakult!
Helps improve digestion.
Yakult!
Helps balance out bacteria.
Yakult!
And helps boost immunity.
Yakult!
Kaya panalo ka tiyan.
Yay! Konti na lang. Tapos na tong school project ko. Today pala deadline nito.
Lagot!
Bakit nga ba ako pumasok dito sa kusina?
Ano nga ba kukunin ko?
Naku po!
Incorrect password. Ano nga ba yung password ko?
Ano nga ba? Memo Plus Gold with the Copa Monera Extract. Iba ang Brainy Good.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Memo Plus Gold ay hindi gamot at hindi maaaring gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Ayos lang, basta kasama. Konting Tanduay Light, buo ang kalooban.
Tanduay Light, gaan ng tama, gaan ng may kasama. Drink responsibly.
Yo, it's the saint himself, Dwight Ramos.
Hey yo, Jeremiah, what are you having?
Alam mo na, yung Primera Klase.
Primera Light Brandy.
Primera Klaseng Night.
From Spain, award-winning premium blend.
Smooth. Now this is our Primera Klaseng Brandy. Primera Light Brandy. Dahil Primera Klase ka.
Drink responsibly.
Bye, buhag-haggard hair! Hello, Cream Silk Vitamin Boost! Pinalaki with 30% more versus 10 ml Unilever sachet for all day no buhag-hag. It's a non-conditioning shampoo and with regular use for up to 24 hours. Mag Cream Silk Vitamin Boost every day.
You're listening to Cool FM.
Number one sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide pa!
Welcome back. On to the international headlines now. EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell in Kiev Saturday pledged unwavering support for Ukraine on the first visit by a top Brussels official after Donald Trump's win. The volatile Republicans' victory in the United States presidential election has set nerves jungling in Ukraine and Europe that Trump could end Washington's support for Kiev's fight against Russia's invasion. The clear purpose of this visit is to express European Union support to Ukraine. This support remains unwavering. Borrell, who is set to leave office next month, told journalists. This support is absolutely needed for you to continue defending yourself against Russian aggression. On the campaign trail, Trump cast doubt on maintaining the vast U.S. military and financial aid in Ukraine and said he could cut a quick deal to end the war. Nobody knows exactly what the new administration is going to do, Borrell said, pointing out that incompetent Joe Biden still has 2 months in power to make decisions. We have to do more and faster, more military support, more training capabilities, more money, faster supplies, and also the permission to strike the enemy on its military targets on its territory, Borrell said. He added that Russia's President Vladimir Putin doesn't want to negotiate and will not negotiate unless he is forced to do it. European together has spent around $125 billion on supporting Ukraine since Russia's 2022 invasion, while the United States alone has coughed up more than $90 billion, according to a tracker from the Carroll Institute. Keeping Washington, Ukraine's single biggest donor, on board is seen by most as key for ensuring Kyiv can fight back, especially at a time of political uncertainty in major European powers, Germany and France. On the battlefield, Ukraine's effective troops are struggling to stave off Russia's advances as they approach 3 years of full-scale combat. With countries such as Hungary, which oppose military support for Ukraine, emboldened after Trump's win, getting conscious within the EU to do more could prove difficult. Ukraine Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiga reiterated Kyiv's insistence that it should not be forced to make concessions to Russia. Everyone needs to realize that appeasement of the aggressor will not work, he said. We need real peace, not appeasement that will bring more war. Kyiv's top diplomat said that changes such as the US election always represent a hope and a chance to accelerate peace. He said contacts have been established with Trump's team after a congratulatory phone call by Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, and that work was underway on a potential new meeting between the two leaders. Ukraine also on Saturday said it would file a complaint with the United Nations and the International Committee on the Red Cross after a video shared online allegedly showed Russian troops executing a wounded Ukrainian soldier. The Russians shot and apparently wounded an unarmed Ukrainian Parliament Commissioner for Human Rights, Dmytro Dubinets, wrote on Telegram. I am sending a letter to the ICRC and the UN. This is a violation of the Geneva Conventions, international humanitarian law, laws, and customs of war, he added. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump wrote out on Saturday, reappointing two senior figures from his first administration, ex-Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Writing on his Truth social network, Trump said he will not be inviting either figure to join his administration as speculation swirls about the identity of his new team. Pompeo had outlined a hawkish plan for Ukraine in July involving more weapons transfers and tough action against Russia's energy sector, which analysts noted on Saturday was at odds with Trump's campaign statements. Trump has repeatedly boasted that he could end the war in Ukraine in his first 24 hours in power and criticized American aid to Kyiv in his fight against Russia. Haley ran against Trump in the Republican primary this year before endorsing him, but she offered at times blunt advice, such as when she urged him to quit whining about Democrat candidate Kamala Harris in August. I very much appreciated working with them previously and would like to thank them for their service to our country, Trump wrote on Saturday. Trump has made one cabinet appointment so far, naming his campaign manager Susie Willis, whom he calls Ice Baby due to her supposedly unflappable temperament, as his White House chief of staff. She is the first woman to be named to the crucial White House gatekeeper role. The United States and Mexico said Saturday that they have signed an agreement aimed at preventing water shortages in parched certain U.S. states with more reliable Mexican deliveries of river water. The accord, the result of more than 18 months of negotiations, comes amid growing water scarcity on both sides of the Rio Grande River, which forms part of the shared border, the country's boundary and water commission said. The United States is consulting with Mexico about securing water deliveries as soon as possible during the current rainy season, the statement said. The last 30 years of managing overstretched water resources in the Rio Grande Basin have produced broad agreement that the status quo was not acceptable, said Maria Elena Ginner, U.S. representative to the Boundary and Water Commission. Under a treaty dating back to 1944, Mexico supplies water to the United States from the Rio Grande in 5-year cycles. In return, the United States delivers water from the Colorado River. The new agreement provides Mexico with tools and flexibility to provide water earlier in the 5-year cycle to reduce urban shortfalls, the statement said. The decades-old treaty has been the focus of diplomatic frictions in the past over delivery delays, as well as protests by Mexican farmers worried about the impact of drought on their crops. Qatar has suspended its role as a key mediator for a Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal until Hamas and Israel show seriousness in talks, the foreign ministry said Saturday. The Gulf Emirate, which has hosted Hamas political leadership since 2012 with U.S. blessing, has been involved in months of protracted diplomacy aimed at ending the war triggered by the Palestinian group's October 7 attack on Israel last year. But the talks, also maintained by Cairo and Washington, have repeatedly had problems since a one-week trace in November 2023, the only one so far. Each side has blamed the other for the impasse. Qatar notified the parties 10 days ago during the last attempts to reach an agreement that it would stall its efforts to mediate between Hamas and Israel if an agreement was not reached in that round. Doha's foreign ministry spokesman Majid Al-Ansari said in a statement. Qatar will resume those efforts when the parties showed their willingness and seriousness, he added. A diplomatic source told AFP earlier, the Qataris informed both the Israelis and Hamas that as long as there is a refusal to negotiate a deal in good faith, they cannot continue to mediate. With Gaza trade talks deadlocked, the Hamas political police in Doha no longer serves their purpose, and said the diplomatic source, speaking on condition of anonymity. Both Qatari and U.S. officials have indicated that Hamas will remain in Doha as long as its presence offered a verbal channel of communication. A senior Hamas official in Doha told AFP, we have not received any request to leave Qatar. The Israeli military on Saturday accused a group of soldiers of burning a Lebanese flag in southern Lebanon, where they are fighting the Iranian-backed military group Hezbollah. The military spoke after a video circulated on social media showing around 500,000 people dressed in Israeli uniforms jumping and singing a religious maxim as one of them sets fire to the flag with a lighter. We view the act of some soldiers burning the Lebanese flag in southern Lebanon as a violation of orders, inconsistent with the values of the defense force, and misaligned with the goals of our military activities in Lebanon, said military spokesman Avichai Adari. Our war is against the terrorist Hezbollah, which has never been truly Lebanese in creed, ideology, or identity, he added in the Arabic language post on social media platform X. The post did not mention any possible sanctions against the soldiers. It did include a video allegedly showing a Hezbollah military tearing a Lebanese flag off its pole and replacing it with the group's banner. 20 years after burying him, Egyptian architect Ahmed al-Maligui was forced to exile his grandfather's remains from a historic Cairo cemetery that is being partially razed to accommodate the growing mega city. That itself is a strategy. Here you are reliving that tragedy all over again, said the 43-year-old who had 23 relatives in total removed from their family tomb, located in a sprawling cemetery known as the City of the Dead in Old Cairo. Since 2020, thousands of graves have been demolished at the UNESCO-listed World Heritage Site, one of the oldest necropolises in the Muslim world. It is the latest piece of Cairo's history to be torn apart as authorities aggressively remake parts of the city, a long-term cultural beacon of the Arab world. The Egyptian government says the cemetery's destruction is necessary to build new roads and bridges that they hope will improve traffic in the congested, densely populated capital, home to around 22 million people. But it is a painful ordeal for families like Medgois, whose 105-year-old family tomb, built in traditional Islamic style with grand wooden doors and a spacious courtyard, is slated for demolition. And Donald Trump won the state of Arizona in this week's U.S. presidential election, US TV networks projected on Saturday, completing the Republican sweep of all 7 swing states. After 4 days of counting in the Southwest state with a large Hispanic population, CNN and NBC projected Trump had obtained its 11 electoral votes. Outgoing President Joe Biden scored a narrow but crucial victory in Arizona in 2020 during his victory that condemned Trump to defeat after his first term in office. The scale and strength of Trump's comeback, which also saw the real estate tycoon win the popular vote by a margin of around 4 million votes, has sent shockwaves through the defeated Democratic Party. The Republicans have already regained control of the Senate and look well set to retain a majority in the House of Representatives thanks to support from white working-class voters and a large share of Hispanics. CNN has called Republican victories for 230 seats in the House, with 280 needed for the majority in the lower chamber. The network's figures show Democrats on 205 seats, although senior party figures are still hoping they can pull off a slim victory that would significantly derail Trump's powers. NBC sees the Republicans with 212 seats so far and 204 for the Democrats. The other 6 swing states won by Trump in the presidential race are Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada, and Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 12:30 p.m. and that is all for Cool News at noon. We will return later at 4 p.m. for more news and headlines. You can also send us your comments, suggestions, and feedback at tvhphilippines.news@gmail.com. I am Cairo, and this is Cool News. Take care and mabuhay. Good afternoon.